Hello and welcome to another episode of the Electric Innovation. I'm Mats and this is Robert.
Hello.
Today, well not today actually, a few weeks ago, I just haven't gotten around to making the video in time. This car, the Blue Duck, had its 2-year anniversary.
Previously known as the Blue Lightning.
Yeah, thinking here we can go through the experience of ownership and also as a natural part of that, consider the Model 3 as a used car proposition, which is what it now is. It's done 58,700 kilometers, which is 34,000 something miles. That's a bit. So that's basically 3 years of normal use.
Have to say, since the pandemic occurred last year, this car hasn't driven that far.
No.
If you don't consider take the vacation last year, the holiday last year, if you take that aside, this car hasn't been driven that long since the pandemic started.
No, this year it's only the last 4 months. It's only been around 10,000 kilometers, I think, or 8,000. So it's been about the first 1.5 years.
8,000 kilometers in 4 months while we're having a pandemic. That's quite a bit.
If you look at the service logs, it's actually been in and out of service quite often. So if you look at those in isolation, you will say this car has had a lot of problems. But then you have to go and look, why has it been at service? Has it ever stopped? No. It just works. You do two things with this car. You fill washer fluid, and then you charge it.
Yeah.
That's what you, and you swap the tires around. That's what you do. It's been serviced because of little things, like moisture in the light, in one of the fog lights, a broken clip in the door. Little things like that. It really has no technical, no relevance, except that's how it's fixed. And it also has been had the hardware 3 computer added, and that's a service. It has nothing to do with the car not being a problem, because that's just something you have to do there. And little things like playing the steering wheel and details like that, and then it's all been free except for one brake service, just to lubricate the brakes and also do a quick checkup on things. And that cost me 3,500 NOK, which is around $300 or whatever.
350.
Yeah, whatever they take for service where you live. And that's it.
One thing I have liked about the small things that had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
They send out the Ranger.
That's the best thing since sliced cheese, I think.
Because then the car can be at home, and I can be there for the Ranger when he arrives, as long as he doesn't try to kill me.
It was like, wow, a Tesla. It's very strange what a car brand that's 20 years old can do with the perception when you're looking forward to getting a Tesla, almost as much as you would look forward to getting a Porsche. I was almost convinced I got the performance because it was so quick and so instantaneous in the steering when your first time you drove this thing. And then you got used to it, of course.
First of all, I have to say the delivery was very
yeah, but that's
stressful because
that was the problem on my bank side. On the financials were in order, but the transfer, it was.
We'll have to go back and look at the video where we talked about this.
Yeah, I can link it in the description below. It was an experience, but it all worked out very well. Coming from an Ioniq, the energy efficiency of this car never really impressed me. Mostly because the Ioniq is the most energy efficient car known to man. The car that Tesla finally have gotten around to getting heat pumps that sort of fix that. And it's really, there's not really much to say. The car just works. The white seats have been brilliant. I just washed them over because they were a little bit dirty. So I bought some vinyl interior spray. You spray it on, you clean it off, and you're done. You can use other material. I still maintain that the ride of the thing is too American in the sense that it's very harsh. If you think that a sporty car has to be harsh to be sporty, then try a Cayman or a Lotus or really anything set up by proper people, and you realize that you're wrong. Is it fun? Yeah. Does the Jaguar still have a better steering feel? Yes, because the Jaguar is brilliant in that sense. But it's more expensive, it has less range, it charges slower.
And it does have the supercharger network.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like, because here in Norway, when you have passed Stjørdal, you have to live on 50 kilowatts chargers.
Yeah,
and it takes,
as Björn calls,
forever.
just no man's land.
yeah, and it takes, but we have to say they are slowly ramping up the amount of for fast hyperchargers also north of Stjørdal.
That's good.
So, and that's mainly, that's our friends, or what can we call it, in Kopla.
Okay.
They are taking Helgeland and some part of the Nordland.
That's cool.
So I think that's very cool that they are cooperating with the local wind company.
Yeah. Yeah, and that brings me on to another thing that's brilliant with this car, which I forget when I meet the owners of SS and X's, because I have CCS. I can charge on anything. It can charge on anything. It can charge on 3 phase, 1 phase, and whatever. But it can also charge on any charge operator, because you have a CCS connector. An S doesn't, an X doesn't, but the 3 and the Y do, and it really is. That's a de facto European standard, and it is a brilliant standard. You can say it's not as elegant as Tesla's own connector, and it isn't, but yeah, that's really relevant, because you can go anywhere with it, and you can charge anywhere. It gives you a freedom that and you don't have to have any adapters. You just bring your Type 2 cable and you go.
That we experienced that on the holiday last year when we were at
In
Hava, where all the Tesla chargers were occupied and the 2 Fortum chargers were vacant, and we didn't have to have that much power because we were going to Ballangen and they had destination charger. So then we had the privilege of driving a Model 3 that has CCS, and we could plug it into the Fortum chargers.
Yeah, it was.
Model S, if you had driven a Model S or a Model X, we hadn't had that opportunity. So
no, unless you had a CCS upgrade, but you know, many people don't have it, don't know it, because you just use superchargers and you come anywhere else and you're stumped and you right, I can't charge you, and you're basically, yeah, you're stuck. Not a fun experience. It was just a 50 kilowatts, as you said, but yeah, I was stopping anyway because I had to have a toilet visit and a few other things. So
yeah, we had the fair. We had good time. We had some good time to the ferry. So
yeah, I mean, you know, it was sort of regardless, and I knew I had destination charging. So as far as I got above X, it was, yeah, whatever. That's why I maintain that when you have a basic bottom range of 300 to 400 kilometers and quick charge speeds, you can do almost anything, and you don't really need 15-minute charge speeds, because by that time you're gonna stop and be gone for 20, between 20 and 50 minutes on a lunch break. So, but problems, COVID problems, not been very many. Paint. People complain to death about paint on Tesla. Personally, I don't really care. It works. It's still on the car. It's been a few chips, but you know, it's a car. It's done almost 60,000 kilometers. It's being used as a car, so of course you would expect some rock chips here and there, and some, you know, I use this thing. I don't polish it to pieces. Pattern gaps, I'm sure it has some. I don't care about those either, as long as it doesn't bother me, and they don't. And you can say, why? You should expect it to look like a Honda or a Lexus or whatever. No, I don't care. I mean, the car is put together as it is. It works. It starts up every day and does what it needs to do. That's the important bit. And it doesn't look terrible. It's not like you can walk straight through the panel gaps, so it's okay. But that's my personal taste.
We have 2 service centers within 40 kilometers.
Yeah, something like that.
And we have 2 supercharger locations. If you include Vestby, we have 3.
Yeah.
So I feel also that Tesla as a company has evolved in the right direction with us and what expect it to be.
Yeah, I mean, does that mean that bad quality control and bad paint is no, of course not. I mean, if you buy and it falls short of whatever, then that's a bad thing. And you know, roofs falling off and paint falling off of a brand new car is a bad thing, no matter what it is. I'm not saying that Tesla is all out without flaws. They do have flaws, and their production processes are sometimes apart from anything else. But you must remember, these cars are built. This car at least is built in Fremont. It's built in American land, and Americans have different sense of quality and what's important than Europeans. Just Chinese have different. Their sense of how things should be differ from Europeans, and so on. That's how it is. And from, as I've said before, this is leather, this is soft, this is, you know, this behind the screen is aluminium. And as proved in the BMW video, the iX3, it's a lot of shit is plastic there, and yet people hail it as a perfect German car. It isn't. It's a lot of shit because it's cheap and it's built down to a price. And you can feel that. Most of what I touch in the Tesla is of decent quality. It's either leather or soft touch materials. Sure, you could just scratch the plastic on the levers are crappy, and some on the steering wheel, but don't interact with that very much. So I don't really care. But for the price, at least in Norway, where we have no VAT and no taxes on electric cars, you get prices to be rather competitive. You don't get better. You don't get a better car, a better equipped car for your money. It just doesn't exist. Particularly not when you consider into that the performance. And with the new cars, particularly with the heat pump and the new interior and the details, double glazing and stuff, they've come a long way. And it will be fun to follow them next year. In the future, with production in Berlin and the stamped parts and all of that. So 2 years of ownership, still a happy bunny. There's not really been any issues with it. I just had the control arm, or whatever it's called, swapped. That's a known issue on some of the 2019 models. There's some moisture coming into places and things just making a noise. It's not dangerous. It's just not sounding. You know, you have this grinding or squeaking noise. Swap, no problem. Done in a few hours. and now it should probably never occur again. Any manufacturer really has teething problems on cars. You can ask Porsche with BMS systems and the engines that sort of ate themselves in the 996s and the early Porsches and BMWs and the Renaults. So there's nothing new here. Again, under the sun. Could it be more quiet? Yeah. What would you say if someone came to you and said, okay, I have 300,000 and I want to buy a used electric car? 400 to 450,000.
I want to buy a used car.
Yeah, that's what these goes for now. Actually, I saw one now under 400,000.
If you had 400,000, 450,
Yeah.
buy a new SR.
Yeah, you're right. But you could also
Don't consider a used one. Buy a new SR Plus, because here in Norway you don't get any other better cars for that price, with that range, with that supercharger network. Finito. You don't have any of the cars.
That's true, but if you need four-wheel drive and you
If
get
you need four-wheel drive, yeah, this one.
yeah, but 380,000 for this one.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot of money. I know a hell of a lot of car for your money.
But I'm trying. Is it? Yeah, it's. We have been on 2 longer vacations with it, both on the continent and Norway the last year.
Been to the mountain with it.
Yeah, yeah. That was very funny, because it was slippery and.
If you have cabins like that, in this kind of modern cabin field place, and you just throw cabins in the mountain and don't care how your owners get there, then you need four-wheel drive. And this, for what they cost used now, because the markets are flooded with them, because of the interest in the facelifts. As you said, the facelifts are very good products. You have four-wheel drive, you have a very quick car. Okay, you don't have heat pump, but still, that's seldom a problem. You have preheat and you have batteries. You have probably the most solid battery packs in the industry. These battery packs never have gone wrong, ever. They can take an insane amount of abuse, and with the preheat function, even in the winter, you plug in, and it just boom. You give this thing 15-20 minutes, and you get 50% and you're off again. It's fantastic.
Let's say you kept the Ioniq in 2019, but now in 2021 you wanted to buy a new electric car, because the Ioniq will be 2 years, and it has come a lot of other cars out there on the market.
Yeah.
And still we don't have Tesla. What would you buy? Would it be the ID.4, or would it be something else? And don't be as crazy as Tesla Björn and say Taycan.
No, I love the Taycan, but I was actually a part of me would say buy the Jag, because it's it's one of the most beautiful cars out there, and also because I love driving it. But I actually think maybe it would be, if I choose a car that's coming this year, I would buy the Ioniq 5.
Okay.
Because it looks brilliant, and it's just so well executed, I think.
Yeah, but Ioniq 5 EV6 aren't that mostly the same cars?
Yeah, the same thing, different design. Very different design, actually, when you look at them. One of them is a 80s retro futuristic dream, and the other one is very cool and sleek. If you had a driver's license,
yeah,
and you needed a car.
Yeah. I would. maybe consider the E2008.
Okay. What?
No.
Wait. No, you didn't.
I have a little bit fascination for the Czech brother.
Skoda Enyaq.
Yeah, the Skoda Enyaq.
Yeah.
It's a reasonable priced car. You have the 4x4, and I also have lately I have been loving the design of the Skodas. So it's not that boxy one you got in the 80s.
No, and it's more a little bit. It's not as boring as VW. Skoda is kind of more progressive.
Yeah, it's Skoda. I feel that Skoda is more appealing to younger buyers than the Volkswagen.
Yeah, like I said, or we said, been 2 years, still love the car. Perfectly aware that there are other competitors out there. Some of them are better to drive, some of them are more quiet, some of them have more range than this. Some situations, anyway. But one thing we haven't talked about, software updates.
Yeah.
And if you consider this car when I got it, this is not the same. It's the same physical car, but it's not the same car. I mean, I got YouTube, I got Netflix, and I got a bunch of games. Okay, that's the fun part. You can use, you can take it, leave it, depending on if you like it or not. Camera surveillance, the dashcam, that's a software update. 10% power increase, software update. One pedal driving, which is fantastic, that's a software upgrade. What else is a software upgrade apart from the infotainment changing and buttons have changed spaces and stuff? A lot of little things, really. It's just improved, and you don't even notice it, and often you don't even think of it, and then you suddenly realize, oh, they changed a few buttons around, and you think, okay, that was a good idea, because you don't necessarily know what you want until you get it sometimes. And no one else does that. I know a lot of other manufacturers, the VW Group and Jag and others, will and do now do over their updates, but I don't think, and until I'm proven wrong, I will stand by this, I don't think they have the depth of understanding of software that Tesla does, of what it is and how you can change things. And until I'm proven wrong on that, I don't really see the reason to change and just buy something else. And that's something you don't really understand, what and the convenience of what you've just over their updates is, until you experience it yourself. It really just changes your entire mindset of what it is to own a car. Because I never visit service centers unless I have to fix something, just to get, you know, it updates itself. I don't have to pay for it. I don't have to do anything except plug the car in the garage and plug it up to a network. Sadly, it stopped finding my private network, so I have to use my phone, but you know, that's a detail. That's on me, not on the car. Anything you have to add?
No, I don't think so. It's been fun 2 years.
It has.
Yeah.
It had some. It has had some battery degeneration. Don't know how much, but I do know it has had. Does it impact me? No. Does it impact the range? Probably, but not in any noticeable way. I still drive it as I always have. Would I recommend this to anybody who asks it? Yes.
Country road.
Okay. continued having a Sunday drive, and I do thank you for watching. Do remember to comment, like, and subscribe.
And if you consider to buy a Tesla, use this Tesla referral code.
Yeah, it's in the.
Maybe you can sponsor our new vacation holiday trip to Norway this year.
Yeah, with some free supercharging miles. There's very, very few cars that can offer what this car can do when it's sum up its software, its user experience, preheat. It's the easiest EV to live with by far. That's just how it is. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.